The internet is awash with conspiracies about every aspect of life, but particularly about the coronavirus. You know, there are all kinds of things. Soon also we'll hear that extraplanetary ships have arrived and brought it here under the request of some countries here on Earth. But if we come down to Earth a little bit and look at what there is a likely explanation for many of the epidemics, particularly the ones that we have suffered in the few past decades. And that means the Asian flu in '56, and we have had in Britain. So let's not blame everything on Asia, but what we had in Britain, the mad cow disease that came from the appalling conditions in slaughterhouses. And the other ones like SARS, bird flu and coronavirus, they all seem clearly to point out to horrific blood-filled situations of when animals were butchered without any consideration, without any hygiene, but often they were stabbed, they were boiled alive, they were all witnessing what the other animals were suffering, and they were thrown one on top of the other. And in all this filth and blood, I mean, of course, you're going to have dangerous viruses being created. And then when you're doing it in very, very packed environment with a lot of people, with a lot of population, okay? So it is likely that some pathogenic viruses are going to take effect. So we see this pattern very often, that our cruelty to animals is somehow hitting us back. Somehow, many human beings, they have certain beliefs that somehow the earth and nature was created for us to do whatever we wish with it and to treat it in any manner that we seem fit. And whatever divinity is out there, it couldn't care less of how these poor creatures are suffering. So, if I were to make a little conspiracy, if I could have a view, a guess on this situation, I would say that a lot of these pandemics are a reflection of the suffering that we are inflicting on nature, and particularly on those poor animals. And do not forget that animals do have a central nervous system and a brain like us. And that means that they can suffer as much pain as we do. So whatever as human beings we are doing to each other and whatever we are doing to nature is reflecting on what we reap. If we pollute it, we are going to reap this pollution and we are going to become sick from it. If we keep on making war on each other, we are going to perish, we are going to live in misery. But we have now to put in the equation, and to put it very strongly, that we need to start treating the animal kingdom with a lot more respect. They feel like us, they feel the pain. Believe me, if you have had pets, if you have had animals, they suffer like you, they have feelings like you, they can love you, they can even give their life for you. So if you cannot be a vegetarian, but at least try to be part of animal killing, but in as much as possible a compassionate manner. You know, let it be so that their being killed is done in the least painful way. If possible, let it not be a situation where they have to witness what they are going through Look at other animals, how much they're suffering and their turn is coming next. And let it be in hygienic conditions as well, because it's about their welfare and it's about us. So let's bring this into our consciousness. What we are, don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you, because it brings misery into you, and it brings misery into life. If you are cruel to any living being, and even to nature, that cruelty will come back to you. It will fester in your heart and create a lot of pain. So the care, the consideration you have for any other living form will reflect itself onto you and into the welfare of the whole world. That I strongly believe. I'm spiritual, but I am a humanist. And if anyone tells me that there is a being out there that has ordered something horrible, something cruel, whether to an animal or to a human being, I say, sorry, not for me. Definitely not. My heart tells me it's wrong, and I will not follow it. So I don't know, there are many things we don't know exactly, whether conspiracies are true or not, or who knows, what did what. But this understanding of what we are doing to animals, of what we are doing to nature, and the comeback, the karma of it on us, to me, that makes a lot of sense. So to really endeavor to be kind to other human beings, to respect nature, not to pollute it, and to care for the feelings of animals, for their welfare, understanding that they, as I said, that they have feelings, they can suffer as much as we do. So, let's keep that under consideration. And I think that if we do, the welfare of the world will increase, and our welfare will increase as well. Don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you. Most religion, in one form or another, they tell you that is at the core of their teachings. I mean, most Christians have forgotten it, I think, But in Matthew, when Jesus says this is the path to the Father, don't do this, don't hurt people, don't lie, don't be destructive. But then he said, of all these teachings, it all condenses on only one thing. Don't do unto others as you wouldn't like others to do unto you. So there I will put a sprinkle of Buddha, because Buddha, that didn't believe in a higher being, or didn't feel the need to worship it. But he was the first great thinker and philosopher I know of who abolished animal sacrifice and spoke strongly against creating pain, horror, and terror into those little creatures that are our brothers and sisters, the animals. So, as I said, respect the planet and respect all living forms, and it will give you a lot of happiness, because as you do unto others, as I said many times, as you do unto others, it will also be done to you. So the love that you give will come back to you. And maybe we will not go from one epidemic to the next, most probably due by our cruelty, by our complete lack of consideration, and any form of loving feelings in our heart. Okay? So I hope that many people will dismiss what I say, but I'm sure that there will be many that will already have it in them, even more than I do. And they will also increase their faith in this message of consideration, sensitivity, and loving care. Thank you very much, and see you soon.